Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
Ah, Corporal.
Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now.
Yes,
Boy,
thank you
she
for the
pissed.
information. You seem rather intent on giving it to us. Lieutenant Boyd.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place?
Colonel Shu sent me. If you are who I think you are.
Not big on reading name tags, huh? That's okay.
I don't see one.
My name is long and difficult to pronounce. Ready for it?
Yeah?
It's Boyd. Lieutenant Boyd to my friends. Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be.
Bound by duty? He said he might need some help.
Yeah, so far this has gone exactly as expected. Poorly. But with the work you've done for NCR already, you might be just what I've been looking for. We
Maybe.
captured an honest-to-God centurion of Caesar's Legion recently.
Centurion? What is that exactly? Is that a big deal?
Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar's Legion from Caesar on down will kill themselves before they can be captured. They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to hug them. But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army, and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him.
That is strange. What do you think that means?
Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Except he hasn't. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real prick, by the way. And I'm supposed to get information out of this guy.
Huh. Well, maybe he wanted to get captured. Do you have any drugs that can do that?
Don't have anything like that. Sounds nice. Like the kind of thing I'd want to take home and use on my husband. But even if we did,
Well.
I don't know that I'd be comfortable using it. If there's any risk of overdose, it's not worth it. Asshole's too valuable.
I see. Well, I suppose torture isn't really up to procedure.
I like the way you think. Have I said that yet? Problem
No.
is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic.
I would imagine.
There's some restrictions still in place from President Tandy's administration. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're completely insane. That's a winning combination.
Winning for whom? So I should do what you can't? I'm not sure I'm willing to do that.
I think if you rough him up enough and really put some fear into him, he'll sing like a choir boy. So let's do this. When you're ready, I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. Either way, we've had our entertainment for the day.
Well, maybe not roughing him up, but sure, let's try that.
That's the spirit. Okay, I'll go in and have a word with him. Then I'll call you in.
Welcome back to Fallout New Vegas Remastered. Beretta is at Captain McCarran with Veronica, Boone, and Eddie. Our party has grown, certainly, and, well, with first recon berets almost all around, Veronica still doesn't have one. Though I don't think it would be appropriate seeing as she's Brotherhood and all of that. We have quite a few things that have popped up on our radar. Namely, a bit of help that we're trying to provide for Alice McLafferty up at the Crimson Caravan. They seem to be a powerful outfit, so if they can at some point provide us some help, that would be good. We, well, are still trying to get our bearings around New Vegas before charging into the casinos and possibly getting killed, trying to get at Benny, so we'll keep an eye on that, but not right away. Eddie had some sort of strange logs that were triggered. Not sure what we need to do to get more of those. Keywords trigger them. Which keywords? Huh? We are given quite a few bounties by Major Daughtry. They seem to have some fiend issues. And the 1st Recon Sniper squad would help us if we asked, but we need their heads, the fiends' heads, as proof that we actually got them, so not sure that a squad of snipers all looking to headshot them would be good. And we also should, at some point, go back to the medical clinic up the road near the Crimson Caravan compound so that, well, Dr. Sanagi knows that Betty needs some help after her suffered trauma. Well, we do have the casinos in the background beckoning us to come, but we have some business inside the terminal. And this is a huge building, so yeah, there might be stuff to do in here. Let's get moving. Conkers. Whoa. Huh. Nice display.
There's a lot more troops here than we thought. No wonder we couldn't hold Helios 1.
Well, yeah, from what I've seen about the NCR, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers deployed here to the Mojave. That's quite a lot, Veronica. Huh, so you were surprised by the numbers. Let's have a chat.
You can't help but notice that the Brotherhood barely exists to these people out here. We're like an urban myth, no real presence on the outside. We just don't adapt like we should. Used to be that all you needed to get your way was a suit of power armor and a laser rifle. Now, people are armed and organized. They're not afraid. But we still stick to our old approach because it's all we know.
Well, depending on the approach you're talking about, which I'm not positive on, I mean, if you're living in the past, they'll eventually have to change.
I think you're right. We're getting desperate. Hardly enough people to sustain ourselves as a chapter. They'll see the light, sooner or later. But I get the feeling if I don't take matters into my own hands, the change won't come in time to make a difference.
I see. Well, just hold on a second. Tell me more about yourself. You've been a bit mysterious.
I like long walks in the desert and candlelit metal workshops.
Right. And what is your place among the Brotherhood exactly?
If you take trying to keep me as far away from Hidden Valley as possible because I ask too many difficult questions as a sign of respect, oh yeah. That's not to say I don't get along with them. I just think they don't know what to do with me sometimes.
What else?
Can I make it up?
Well, you could, but that wouldn't be very useful. What exactly are you looking for out of this whole wandering the Mojave Wastes deal?
I want a dress.
What? A dress?
Yeah, a good one. Something elegant and classy, you know? But still stylish. Something that's eye-catching and sexy, but also says, don't fuck with me. I keep hoping I'll come across some old-world designer gown when I'm scavenging, but it never happens. Maybe I should move back to California.
Huh. That's a strange goal? A nice dress?
Hey, you try getting a date wearing scribe robes. Might as well be wearing sweatpants. I just like them, you know? They make you feel like a woman. Those ladies before the war, they knew what they were doing.
Okay, that's odd, but understandable. I mean, depending on what scribe robes are.
Like what?
Something else. Do you have any family back? You said your family was the Brotherhood, but are they actually?
Just my parents, but they haven't been around for a long time. Dad was a paladin, Mom was a scribe. They died in the same battle, trying to hold off the NCR from... something. I don't remember what it was. Guess it seemed important at the time.
That's not much to go
Like
on.
what?
You seem confused by the NCR's presence in the Mojave. Anywhere specific you were looking to go?
Nowhere specific. I just know there are a lot of groups who are actually doing well for themselves out here. I want to understand how and why. See them at work.
Yeah, it seems like you were quite sheltered. Well, it seems like the Brotherhood in general is quite detached from reality these days. Let's talk about something else.
Ooh, got any juicy gossip?
No. Tell me more.
My favorite subject.
What skills do you have besides that pneumatic punching glove you've got?
I like punching things, but sometimes shooting things just has to do.
Anything else?
Yeah, I've been taking things apart and putting them back together since before I said my first word. You want to build something? Talk to me, and we can do it right there on the spot. Workbenches are for novices. Who knows? I might even be able to show you a Brotherhood trick or two.
Huh, good to know. I have a few other questions, perhaps.
He was dead when I got there.
What? No. Tell me more about the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm still not quite sure how they fit here at the Mojave.
It pays like ass, but it's hard to get other work with my skill set. What do you want to know?
What are their goals?
Good question. These days, it's hard to say. Once upon a time, it was about technology, controlling it so it couldn't destroy us again. Energy weapons and power armor are usually tops on our list, although I appreciate anything that's vintage. But that all seems so limited now. We haven't grown or adapted, and now we're stuck in a hole, not carrying out our mission.
Huh. Right. Well, I think that's enough for now.
Let's.
We'll get back to Brotherhood stuff later on. Though your comment was... well... it led on that you were not quite aware of how much NCR is out here. Trooper, can you tell me anything about this facility?
Glad you're with us.
No. How are our skills, by the way? Not great. Certainly need more repair, speech, barter, everything, really. Well, okay. Let's take a walk around, see what's what. It's a big facility. This is owned. All of this is owned, in fact. I would expect so. Military facility and all. Yeah. Seems you were stuck on the lap, fellas. Huh. Where are we supposed to be going? There? That's where McClafferty pointed us to, or our Pip-Boy to. Hello there.
Hello.
You're new. I'm Angela Williams. Were you just looking around, or?
Well, kind of. What is this place exactly? I might need help.
This? The OSI lab. We don't get many visitors. The smell puts people off, I think. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. Anyway, you get used to it if you give it some time.
So you're a scientist?
I know I don't sound the part. Get raised by Brahmin ranchers and you never lose the twang. Drives Hildern crazy. But I know every inch of the power grid from Hoover Dam to Shady Sands. That's what we do here. Try to optimize the power output from the dam. Some of the others are working on an agricultural project, but truth be told, they aren't making much progress. Not yet, anyway.
Okay. And your role in the project?
Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things when they need me. Gotta be flexible.
Well, I like flexible. Need help with anything?
You mean give you work? No, that'd be up to the administrator, Hildern. He's back there in his office. Between you and me, I don't think he ever leaves. Plenty of mercs go in to see him, though.
Mercenaries? For a science project?
I can't say. We're not supposed to talk about the research, not the details. If you're interested, I'm sure he'd see you.
Sure. That's strange. Very strange, Angela. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'm almost always in the lab.
I'm sure you are. She looks nice. Lots of weird science equipment. Ah, I'm guessing you're Dr. Hildern.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22?
Actually, I have an invoice for you from Alice McClafferty.
From Alice? I'll see that she's paid right away. Crimson Caravan runs a tight operation. Even out here in the waste, wouldn't do to keep them waiting. Was there anything else? Or were you just here about the invoice?
Well, you mentioned Vault 22, and seems like you need help of some sort.
Wonderful. Straight to it then. Have you signed the release forms? No? Doesn't matter. We'll keep that to ourselves. Vault 22. Where to begin?
I'm listening?
Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water, and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible?
Sounds like it. I'd say so.
A realist. We have that in common. A year ago, I'd have said the same. But what if I was to tell you that the wasteland can yield an endless bounty, and that the secret may lie a mere few miles from where we stand? We need only reach out and take it, and for that, I need you.
Oh. I guess that's where the mercs came in. I see. Well, scientific discovery is not frequently as simple as that.
Isn't it? One directs one's efforts, or the efforts of others, toward a goal, and progress is made. It's a matter of incentive.
Not necessarily.
I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlock the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
Well, I wouldn't say no to a generous compensation package. And, I mean, plant research doesn't seem all that dangerous. I am a bit wary about the, strew of mercenaries Alice mentioned. We'll do it.
Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts.
That's
Vaults
sketchy.
typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand?
Sure.
Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Anything else I should know?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
I had some other questions.
Oh? What might those be?
What is the OSI exactly?
The Office of Science and Industry. It's a rather expansive topic. I could talk for hours, but I'm sure I'd bore you. Suffice to say, we are the leading edge of the NCR. Our work focuses on practical matters: medicine, engineering, biology. The dam, for instance. OSI routes its energy supply to our cities in the West. That's only one responsibility of this office.
I see, and you're the director.
Director of the entire OSI? Me? If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to plant seditious ideas in my head. No. I direct our eastern operations. I've been responsible for squeezing unprecedented levels of power from the dam. I'm also confronting the problem of food production in what little spare time I have. But I've found some promising leads.
Vault 22, I guess. So there's a food shortage.
Not yet, but our government understands the value of proactive thought. Our studies project an imbalance between production and consumption. Or, for a layman such as yourself, not enough food, too many mouths to feed. Mass starvation in a decade or so.
I see, so population is growing too fast. So you've been researching all of this by yourself and, well, Alice, I guess?
Yes, with the assistance of my team, of course.
What other responsibilities does this office have?
We aid some programs the Republic has sponsored involving sharecropper farms in the area.
I saw
Those
those.
haven't panned out too well from what I hear. There have been complaints about the amount of water we're supplying. But those are just excuses for lack of diligence, I'm sure.
Well, I might take a look into that. We were walked past. So you control the dam from here to manage its power output?
Directly? No. But we attempt to maximize its output. You have no idea how difficult it is to provide power to an entire nation.
I would imagine.
I also have high hopes for our Helios 1 facility. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the 2 scientists who are working there. So far, they've only managed to achieve 1% power output. I'd send help if I could spare the personnel.
Well, I went past that as well, but it was a military operation. I didn't think we could actually go in to try to help, so... or find interesting stuff for ourselves. Well, thank you, Doctor. So, you're managing the dam's output. What are your thoughts on the NCR's chances against the Legion?
To be frank, I have no idea. I leave the fighting to Colonel Shu, and I expect him to leave the science to me. Too many people have opinions on things they know nothing about. And the more
True.
ignorant they are, the more opinions they have.
I agree with that. In fact, my opinion is that you are correct. Though I know nothing about the subject. Oh, was that your point? I'll see you soon, Dr. Hildren.
Yes, goodbye.
He is... I'm talking about you right in front of you. Let me turn my back to you. He's a bit sketchy, isn't he, Eddie?
Even the stupid NCR is investing in new research.
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but... Did he give you a job?
Sort of. He asked me to retrieve data from Vault 22.
I shouldn't say anything. I know that. But you're not the first person Hildern sent out to the vault. There were
I
a
would
lot of
have
mercs.
suspected.
One after another. None of them came back.
That's
Then
not good.
About a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
No. He didn't mention anyone.
But now he's hired you, which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich, not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc, but I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Well, I don't know this Keeley. I don't really know you, so I'm not sure exactly what side would be right on this, but sure, I'll look for her while I'm there.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it. Of course. Anything.
What else can you tell me about this Keeley, specifically?
Keeley's brilliant. An absolute genius. She plays at being mean, but it's all a front. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll outlive them?
You'll outlive him. How old is she?
I couldn't get her to say.
What is she?
She talked about the war. The Great War, when the bombs fell, like she'd been there. So, I'm guessing pretty old. 200 years? Maybe more.
Huh, I'm guessing she's a ghoul. Probably. What was their relation before Hildren sent her there?
Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy, maybe. They're both Deathclaws in their way. Keeley hates Hildren. She says he's more politician than scientist, and gets in the way of true discovery.
I get
and
that
Hildren
feeling.
hates Keeley because, well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. In front of important people, usually.
Well, that explains the not too friendly relationship. What else do you do around here?
Head researcher. Mostly on the dam
You said that already. What do you think of Dr. Hildren?
The director? He's very well spoken and knowledgeable.
Those are highly measured words. So focus on results.
He's not what you'd call warm, unless he wants something from you. And even then, it's kind of a cold warm. Most of the time, I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work, though he tells people that he does.
Ha! So he takes credit for everyone else's work. You?
He sure does. Everyone knows it. I've just got to endure this job until the project is finished. But abandoning Keeley, he crossed a line. Taking credit for other people's work is one thing. Sending people to die in the waste is another. If Hildren tries to recruit any more mercs, I'm gonna warn them. What can he do to me? I'm the only one who can run this lab.
Good for you. I'm gonna have a chat with him.
Right. Stay safe.
Thank you, Angela. You're really deep into that hood. Where's Dr. Dr. Hildren.
Morning. Yes? Something else you needed?
Yes. I'm not the first person you've sent to the vault, right?
I never said you were. You've been speaking to Williams, haven't you?
Dr. Hildren, I'm the one asking the questions.
Fair enough. Begging your pardon, but this is beginning to feel like an interrogation. No, you aren't the first person I've sent to the vault. I'm sorry that I neglected to tell you, but I don't see how it makes any difference.
Well, it'll depend exactly on how many that is.
I'd have to consult my records. 8? 10? Your point is what?
10. Well, because I prefer to know what I'm getting into.
You want certainty? You'll never find it, especially not in the pursuit of science. Take my advice. Forget about Williams. She's a talented researcher, but she doesn't understand people, and she can't see the big picture. Now, I know your time is valuable, so I won't waste any more of it. Feel free to show yourself out.
Dr. Hildren.
Yes? Something else you needed?
I have questions.
Oh? What might those be? Yes, goodbye.
I don't think you'll volunteer any information. Alright, fellas, let's get going. Can I get maybe drinks for free? No. No, we cannot. What is... Oh. Good morning. You seem like Colonel.
I'm glad we could finally meet. My sources tell me you've done some good work for us. What brings you to Camp McCarran?
Shoo. I have heard and read good things about you. What sort of challenges or issue have you encountered?
Everything was going according to President Kimball's plan at first. We met minor resistance from local troublemakers. But our two main objectives are still contested. Mr. House controls the Strip and he won't so much as meet with our ambassador. And we're holding Hoover Dam. But Caesar's Legion is positioning itself to overrun it. If it falls, so will New Vegas. We'd be forced to withdraw.
Well, you certainly seem calm if that's how bad things are.
Calm is what you have to be when people look to you. And it's all you can be when things are out of your hands.
I see. So, a facade. Useful, if used correctly. What sort of operations are run here at McCarran specifically?
It's our main base. We took it because it lets us keep an eye on the Strip, and it had already been fortified before the Great War. From here we handle most of the logistics for our operations in Nevada. Troop allocation, supply distribution, intel. Usually General Oliver runs the show here, but he's on his way to the dam now, so I've taken on a lot of his duties here.
So there's a command center moving forward, well, to essentially what is the front line. Well, something's brewing. And how exactly are things around here?
Could be better, I'll say that much. We set up here with our sights set on annexing New Vegas. It's a lot of resources that could do a lot of good for us. But that hasn't happened. If anything, they annexed us. They rake in the profits from our soldiers, and we're stuck protecting them from the Legion. Not exactly the plan.
Seems like New Vegas is smarter than you thought. Whoever runs the place. So where does that leave the NCR?
Now we're trying to secure the Strip and the dam at the same time, and it's costing us. And in the meantime, General Oliver won't approve any offensive maneuvers, because he doesn't want to risk losing our positions. So we're in a holding pattern here. And Caesar's on the other side of the river, planning.
Well, he's doing more than that. I saw Nipton. But over here, between McCarran and the dam, things seem pretty quiet. At least as far as Boulder City goes.
Unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the ranger stations has been especially concerning lately. Sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance, and supplies just aren't reaching them. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look into it, and see how it is that things could be so fouled up there.
Well, I did see one ranger outpost that didn't seem to be making much in terms of progress securing the road between Novak and Nipton. But then again, the Legion hit it in strength, I would say, down south. Well, I'm up for a hire if you need some extra manpower. I'm sure Boone knows the ropes.
There are a lot of things I can't spare troops for right now. If you can help us, we can definitely pay you for your work.
Good.
You don't cook by any chance, do you? Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word.
I see. Well, maybe I could make him talk. I'm very persuasive.
I have Lieutenant Boyd on that already, and she's excellent. But I think she's hit a wall. Talk to her if you like. See if she has any use for you. Her office
Sure.
is right above mine, but I think she might be interrogating right now. So she'd be upstairs on the other side of the building.
I'll take a look. Who are these fiends exactly? I've, well, met. And by that, I mean, we've encountered a few that attacked us.
As in chem fiends. Biggest gang of raiders I've ever seen. Nothing like addiction to swell your numbers. Psychotic and completely unpredictable. They set up shop in Vault 3 to the west. Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend on them. And they come through for you so often, you forget it can happen.
Well, if I go there and I see a ranger, I'll try to help.
That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have second thoughts, no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home, it'd mean a lot. Watch for civilians, too. The fiends have been kidnapping locals. They just walk right into people's homes in the middle of the day and take them. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find the leader, Motor Runner. You hear something
Motor
like a
Runner.
chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have some new friends around here.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of fiends that need bullets in the head. I have to say, that's exactly the treatment we gave them. They didn't seem up for discussion. Probably high on psycho or something. Anything else you might need help with? And of course, would be willing to pay for.
Yeah. On top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out.
Really? So you're leaking intelligence?
Well, why not? Given your recent arrival, at least I can safely rule you out as the leak. I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right now. Go ahead and look into it. See what you find. We don't
Will
have much
do.
to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a map of our troop movements. It derails everything. Supplies, reinforcements, and it'll only get worse the longer we let it go on. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation right now. He can fill you in.
Captain Curtis. Well, I'm guessing that's pretty much all I need to know for now, Colonel. It's been an honor.
Bye.
Well, the Ranger's notes certainly
Something I can do for you?
didn't get things wrong. Colonel seems to have quite the dogged sense of duty. Well, if someone cleaned this place up, it'd be an impressive facility. I'm guessing they're down on resources and don't have much in the way of free personnel. So Captain Curtis, find Keeley, yeah. Return, yeah, we'll do that at some point. Hardick by the number. And Motor Runner bounty. So if we take him out, they'll pay handsomely. And there's a ranger there somehow. And there's a prisoner. Ah, yeah. He said the other side of the building upstairs. Okay. Let's take a look at what we can do over there. Hello.
Fiends. Cracked out junkies. All those chems make them a real bitch to take down.
Yeah? Well, the ones we've met didn't seem to be much of a problem for us.
Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
Ah, Corporal.
Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now.
Yes,
Boy,
thank you
she
for the
pissed.
information. You seem rather intent on giving it to us. Lieutenant Boyd.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place?
Colonel Shu sent me. If you are who I think you are.
Not big on reading name tags, huh? That's
I don't
okay.
see one.
My name is long and difficult to pronounce. Ready for it?
Yeah?
It's Boyd. Lieutenant Boyd to my friends. Colonel Shu has me handling the policing duties for the base. I've told him he could make my job a whole lot easier if he would just let me shoot anyone who talks back to me. But you know how colonels can be.
Bound by duty? He said he might need some help.
Yeah, so far this has gone exactly as expected. Poorly. But with the work you've done for NCR already, you might be just what I've been looking for. We
Maybe.
captured an honest-to-God centurion of Caesar's Legion recently.
Centurion. What is that exactly? Is that a big deal?
Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar's Legion from Caesar on down will kill themselves before they can be captured. They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to hug them. But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army, and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him.
That is strange. What do you think that means?
Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Except he hasn't. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real prick, by the way. And I'm supposed to get information out of this guy.
Huh. Well, maybe he wanted to get captured. Do you have any drugs that can do that?
Don't have anything like that. Sounds nice. Like the kind of thing I'd want to take home and use on my husband. But even if we did,
Well.
I don't know that I'd be comfortable using it. If there's any risk of overdose, it's not worth it. Asshole's too valuable.
I see. Well, I suppose torture isn't really up to procedure.
I like the way you think. Have I said that yet? Problem
No.
is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic.
I would imagine.
There's some restrictions still in place from President Tandy's administration. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're completely insane. That's a winning combination.
Winning for whom? So I should do what you can't? I'm not sure I'm willing to do that.
I think if you rough him up enough and really put some fear into him, he'll sing like a choir boy. So let's do this. When you're ready, I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. Either way, we've had our entertainment for the day.
Well, maybe not roughing him up, but sure, let's try that.
That's the spirit. Okay, I'll go in and have a word with him. Then I'll call you in. Long time no see, Silus.
Lieutenant, I was just thinking about you.
That's so.
I was just thinking about that pretty neck of yours.
How sweet.
I was thinking about how it would look with a Legion slave collar on it.
I'll pass.
Do you know what I love about our slave collars, Lieutenant?
If you love them, maybe you should try one on.
I love how tightly they fit. I train my men to make sure the slave's flesh bulges a bit around the top and bottom. Know why?
It's all the rage in fashion circles.
Not quite. If you fit it just right, their body never gets used to the feeling of wearing it. It cuts in just enough when they swallow or turn their head to remind them who they belong to. And it's that constant reminder that keeps them docile.
In that case, maybe you'd better save the collar you were gonna give me.
Oh? For whom?
For a friend of mine you're about to meet. My friend isn't very docile.
And who is this friend of yours?
You know all the rules the NCR instituted to protect enemy prisoners of war?
Of course.
My friend doesn't. Oh, and Silus, if you resist at all, I'll personally blow your brains out. Come on in, he's all yours. I'll be back in a bit to see how you're getting along. And I'll need you to surrender your weapons before you go in. You can pick them up from the locker on your way out.
Okay, well, Lieutenant, will do. Hello there, Kenturian.
What an ugly little worm you are. What pile of excrement did the lieutenant pluck you from, worm?
Right, I think you're confused. I'm with the excrement right now.
You must have some reason to be in your line of work. Tell me, what did the Legion do to you? Did we enslave your children? Slaughter your family before your eyes to teach you a lesson? Whatever it was, I hope I was there to give the order.
Very unlikely. However, now you're going to tell me everything you know, Silas.
Of course, of course. All you had to do was ask. I'll tell you everything I know. Let's see. I know that you're a brainless cretin. I know that you're wasting your time. I know the lieutenant is going to be disappointed in you. And I know that by this time next month, the streets of New Vegas will be decorated with the decaying heads of NCR soldiers. Is there anything else you wanted to know?
Yes, I wanted to know how such a big talker got caught so easily.
You must have some reason to be in your line of work. Did we enslave... Whatever...
You must miss giving orders. Now that all of your men are dead, you have no one to order around.
Foot soldiers of the Legion are trained not to have to think for themselves, to have conflict removed from their minds. They kill themselves to evade capture because they are not trusted to make such a decision rationally in the heat of battle. But I'm no foot soldier. I knew I could escape captivity on my own without revealing the tiniest iota of information to my captors.
Sounds like you were just too much of a coward to follow orders.
I'll show you gutless, you sniveling bastard. I'll spill your guts all over this room.
Is something the matter, Silas? You look upset. Here, maybe you'd better step out for a moment. You've upset him.
Okay.
Your friend is a miserable fucking degenerate.
I don't know. I thought she seemed like a nice lady.
If we were on the other side of the river, I'd have her torn apart by dogs.
That's a long walk, Silas. I don't think it's gonna happen. You'd better just talk.
Your tactics are a joke.
If you don't like dealing with me, I can bring my friend back in.
Both of you can rot.
Have it your way. Come on back in. I think he misses you.
Well, let's see what he wants this time. Hello again, my dear friend. Want to talk?
We don't have anything to discuss, worm.
Well, I'm sure you're very brave. Really tough. Especially for someone who's afraid to die as much as you are.
You think I could get where I was in the Legion army if I feared death? I've led charges against men with guns, carrying only my knife. And I can tell you, it was they who feared me. But suicide is a weak death on a battlefield. It says to your enemy that you fear capture. It says if you're caught, you can be broken.
I see. So you were not afraid to cut any throats except your own.
You think I'm going to slit my throat for some megalomaniacal self-appointed dictator? I didn't work my way up to have it all be taken from me out of some irrational paranoia. Caesar's losing it. I believe that. He's been shutting himself in his tent. Privately, he complains of headaches. Whatever it is, it's affecting his ability to lead.
Interesting.
Time was essential for my mission, but we waited 3 days for him to dispatch us. Another of his headaches. Does that sound like a man in command? He has an operative planted in this very base, but does he use his agent to rescue me? No. He's content to have the agent spend his nights radioing troop positions back to our base camp. He knows I'm here, and he's left me to rot.
Well, Silas, thank you for divulging all those state secrets.
I hope the Legion burns your wretched body at the stake when they conquer this place. Nothing I could tell you would do anything to stop that. Get away from me.
Well, there's definitely an operative around here. Lieutenant.
You did well. I don't know how you did it without putting a scratch on him, and I'm a little disappointed personally, but it saved the NCR some face. And it could save us more than that when all is said and done. I'm gonna talk to some people when we're through here. This is about double the standard fee we'd give a consultant, but from what I saw, you're more of an artist. So think of this as your commission.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yep, see you around.
300 caps is easy money, Boone. Didn't know you were this well paid. So there is an operative somewhere around here. Huh, maybe we should look into it like Colonel Shu asked. Lots of foodstuffs and cigarettes. All owned by the NCR, though. Well, let's see. These are the bathrooms. Oh, we're hungry. My stomach's growling. Yes, indeed. We're accumulating quite a bit of radiation. Well, lots of things we still need to do around here, I would say. But that is going to be next time. Till then.